everyone, my name is Nicole and welcome to BOCHIKNOT Macrame. In today's tutorial, we will be going over 4 macrame baby teether patterns. So many of you may know that I am currently expecting, and that is why I have been making a ton of macrame baby items. I am definitely that type of person. If I can make it, I would rather make it than buy it. Making these items yourself, either for your baby or for your friends or family's babies, makes it that much more thoughtful, and you also save on money as well. And so today we will be going over 4 macrame baby teether toy patterns that you can make for a baby. I will be incorporating these macrame baby teether toys into a baby play gym, and the tutorial for how we made the play gym will come next week, so make sure you stay tuned for that. If there are other baby items that you guys are interested in making, I will post a list of what I have made to date in the description below. Because I am mostly using natural cotton cord and natural wooden beads and wooden rings for these patterns, I will show you guys how to treat these wooden rings in the beginning of the video. I hope you guys will enjoy these patterns. If you guys want more videos like this, make sure you click subscribe to our BOCHIKNOT Macrame channel. And if you haven't already, give this video a big thumbs up. And with that, let's get started. Before we begin, you will need some materials and supplies for this project. I've used both 3mm and 2mm cotton cord for these macrame teether toys. The cord I'll be using is a 100% natural organic cotton cord. I wanted to use something that was natural and undyed, since baby will be putting this in their mouths. This large roll is 3mm, and then this smaller roll is 2mm. The reason why I am using 2mm for some of these macrame baby teethers are because the wooden beads that I will be using have smaller holes, so they can only fit a 2mm size string through the hole. Another material that you will need for these macrame baby teethers are some wooden rings. So the ring that I'm holding up here is a natural beech wooden ring, and this is latex free, BPA free, chemical free. It's all natural, which is what we want for baby. Instead of using wooden rings, you could also get animal shaped baby teethers like the bunny one I have there. You can find these in multiple animal shapes. If you guys are interested in these wooden teethers, either the wooden rings, the wooden beads, or the animal shaped ones, I can post links to these in the video description below. Before we get into each of the 4 baby teether patterns, I wanted to show you guys how I sanitize and also treat these wooden teethers. So what I do is I use mild soap and water to wipe off any dirt and to sanitize them. If you don't want to use any soap, a natural sanitizer or cleaner is vinegar, so you can definitely wipe these wooden teethers with vinegar as well. The only thing to pay attention here is to not soak these wooden rings into water, since soaking them for long periods of time will swell up the wood and make them crack very easily. Once I'm done cleaning them with mild soap, I'm going to use a hot towel to wipe off the soap. Then let these wooden teethers completely dry out before we head on to the next step. To seal the baby teethers after they have been cleaned, we're going to use some virgin coconut oil on them. Coconut oil helps to prevent the wood from cracking and wear and tear over time. It helps them last a little longer. If you want extra shine to these wooden teethers as well, you can also use some natural beeswax mixed together with the coconut oil as well. So what I'm going to do is take some coconut oil and I'm just going to rub it all over each of these wooden rings and teethers. Once you have put the coconut oil onto each of the teethers, they should be darker in color. Once the teethers are treated, we can now start on baby teether number 1. And for this particular pattern, I call it the rattle. And for this particular pattern, we will need 3mm cotton cord and 4 wooden rings. To start off with the pattern, we're going to take the 4 strands of cord at 130 centimeter long each, and we're going to weave them through the ring. This pattern consists primarily of crown knots and then a gathering knot at the very end. So what we're going to do is to make a thicker crown knot, we're going to use 2 strands as one. So once you have weaved the cords through, make sure that the part where it is touching the ring is the middle of where the cords are. And then we're going to split them into 2 groups horizontally. To start the pattern, we're going to take the bottom group and we're going to fold it upwards, and then the group on the right, we're going to fold it over to the left. And then the group on the left, top left, we're going to fold it downwards, and then bottom left, we're going to fold it over to the right and through the right loop. We're always crossing over the next group, and this is the square or crown knot pattern that we're going to be continually repeating. So now we're going to pull on each of the 4 groups to tighten the first crown knot. Once the first crown knot is made, this is what it should look like. It should be an overlapping square pattern. And then we're just going to repeat this knot over again. And you have now made your second crown knot. All we're going to do is repeat this pattern for a total of 23 crown knots. So you've made 2 now, and now we're going to make 21 more underneath. Once you have made a few, this is what the side of the pattern should start to look like, a chain-like pattern. So now continue repeating the crown knots until you have 23. Once you have 23 crown knots made, this is what the pattern should look like. Now we're going to take 2 wooden rings and we're going to thread them through the crown knot pattern. And then we're going to take the 4th wooden ring and we're going to take half of the cords at the bottom, weave them through one way, and then take the back half and weave them through the ring the other way. Gather the fringe together on both sides, and there should be about a ½ inch or an inch of space between the crown knot and the wooden ring. And how we're going to seal it here is with a gathering knot. So taking a strand of cord at 45 centimeter long, we're going to make a loop, take the long end, and we're going to wrap it around the gathered cords several times. before placing the long end through the loop, pulling on the top end to tighten the gathering knot. Pull on the cords so that they are nice and tight, and then you can cut off all the excess cord on both sides. And we are now complete with toy number 1, the baby rattle. To start off this pattern, we're going to take a strand of 2mm cotton cord at 80 centimeters long, and we're going to fold it in half and attach it onto a ring using a lark's head knot. Then we're going to take 2 beads and we're going to thread them through both of the cords. To do this, I'm going to use a fishing wire, and I'm going to wrap the fishing wire around the ends of the cord to thread the beads through. So putting the fishing wire together, we're going to thread them through a bead, and then the cord should be threaded through with it as well. If you have a larger hole on your beads, you can definitely tape the ends to thread them through, but I find this is an easy way to thread through your beads as well without the need to take off the tape and put them back on should you be putting more beads on after. Underneath the beads, make an overhand knot with both of the cords. Then we're going to take a strand of 3mm cotton cord at 100 centimeters long, and we're going to make a series of square knots underneath the 2 beads. So take the cord from behind where the center is underneath the overhand knot, and then we're going to take the left cord to the right cord over to the left to start your square knot. Then take the opposite sides for the next set of cords to finish off this first square knot. Once you have completed 1 square knot, continue downwards for another 9 square knots. Once you have completed the 9 square knots, we're going to take our second ring or baby teether and we're going to attach it to the bottom of the square knot pattern. To do so, we're going to take the middle 2 cords, so the 2 smaller cords, and make a loose overhand knot at the bottom first. Make sure that it is loose because now we're going to weave it through the teether at the bottom. Take the ends back to the top and we're going to weave it through the overhand knot. First, take it through the large hole and then in the second crease of the overhand knot, we're also going to weave those ends through that crease as well. So you can see on the left side, there's that second loop, and we're going to weave it through the second loops as well. Pull the ends through and tighten the overhand knot, and the overhand knot should be sitting right above the bottom ring or teether. Now what we're going to do is gather the longer cord ends from the sides, and then right above the bunny ears or the ring, we're going to take a 45cm cord and make a gathering knot. There should be about an inch of space above the ring and beneath the last square knot. Cut off the excess cords on both sides. And we are now complete with baby teether number 2. For baby teether number 3, this is a hanging macrame teether pattern that we are going to go over. We will need both 3mm, 2mm cotton cord, 2 wooden rings, and 3 beads. To start off with the pattern, we're going to take a strand of 2mm cord, folded in half, attached onto the ring using a lark's head knot, and then we're going to start a series of alternating half hitch knots. To make the alternating half hitch knots, we're going to start with the left cord, make a half hitch knot through the loop onto the right cord, and then now we're going to alternate sides, so the right cord through the loop on the left. Continue alternating this for a total of 8 alternating half hitch knots. So we've made 2, make 6 more. Now we're going to thread through 3 beads. So using the same method as before with the fishing wire, we're going to thread through 3 of these wooden beads. Underneath the wooden beads, we're going to make another 8 alternating half hitch knots. Once the 8 alternating half hitch knots are complete, we're going to make a loose overhand knot underneath, and then similar to how we had tied the overhand knot before, we're going to weave the cords through the ring at the bottom and then weave the cord ends through the 2 loops of the overhand knot. Pull on the cord ends to tighten the knot, and then split the 2 strands in half, and we're just going to make a double overhand knot at the back as well. Cut off the excess string. Now we're going to take 5 strands of 3mm cord and we're going to attach it onto the bottom ring using Lark's head knots. What we're going to do here is make 2 rows of merging double half hitch knots. Starting on the left side first, we're going to take the far left cord as the anchor cord, the cord next to it to the right as a working cord for a double half hitch knot. Make 3 more double half hitch knots to the right after this. Now we're going to do the same thing on the right side, mirroring what we just did on the left, with the far right cord as the anchor cord for 4 double half hitch knots to the left. Then with the middle 2 anchor cords, make 1 more double half hitch knot in the middle. Repeat for another row underneath on both sides. Once the second row beneath is complete, we're now going to trim off the excess cord at the bottom and then comb through the fringe. And we are now complete with baby teether number 3. Lastly, this 4th and final baby teether pattern is just a hanging macrame star. You will need 3mm cord as well as 1 wooden ring for this pattern. To start off this pattern, we're going to need 2 strands of 100cm long cords. What we're going to do is on one end, we're going to measure 25 centimeters and we're going to fold the cord at that point. Then the shorter ends of the cords will be in the middle. So as you can see, the left cord here is the shorter one, the right cord here is the longer one, and then attach it this way onto the ring using a lark's head knot. So same thing with the cord on the left. The cord on the right is the shorter cord, and then the outer left cord is the longer cord. We're going to be making a series of half knots, and that's why the outer cords will need to be much longer than the inner 2 cords. Taking the far left and far right cords, make a half knot, and then repeat again. Continue repeating the half knots until the outer left and right cords are the same length as the inner cords. This is what the pattern should look like once it's complete. And now we will work on the star part of the pattern. Taking a strand of cord at 180 centimeters long, we're going to measure one end of the pattern at 20 centimeters and we're going to tape that end down. So we're going to start 20 centimeters from the end of the cord. Now taking the 280 centimeter long cord, we're going to make a reverse Larks head knot onto the horizontal cord. And then we're going to take the right end and make a half hitch knot on the right side. And then the left cord for a half hitch knot on the left side. Repeat the same thing again beside this with the other 280 centimeter long cord. Once both cords are attached, take the second cord from the left as an anchor cord and make 3 double half hitch knots to the right. Now taking the third cord from the right as the anchor cord, make 2 double half hitch knots to the right. Folding the anchor cord back to the left, we're going to make 2 double half hitch knots to the left now. Then underneath, take the far right cord as the anchor cord and make 3 double half hitch knots to the left. Then underneath, taking the far right cord as the anchor cord, make 4 double half hitch knots to the left. So the first part out of our 5-part star pattern is now complete, and now we're going to start our second petal. So starting with the far left cord as the anchor cord, make a row of double half hitch knots to the right. So that would be 4 double half hitch knots. Now all you have to do is repeat starting from the second row of the first petal to finish off this second petal. Once the second petal is complete, repeat this 3 more times. Once all 5 are complete, we can turn the pattern upside down and seal the 1st and 5th sides together. Start off with the top 2 cords on both sides and make a double overhand knot. Next, from the loop down on the right side, so the reverse Larks Head loops that we made in the beginning, we're going to use a crochet hook and weave the second cord down through the loop. Then the cord that we skipped above it, we're going to make a double overhand knot. Repeat the same thing with the next loop down. Underneath each of these strings, make an overhand knot. Now to attach the star onto the bottom of the spiral pattern, we're going to take all 4 cords underneath the spiral and we're going to thread it through the top part of the star, through the top hole, from back to front, and then from front to back through the next hole down. Then gather all the cords from behind, cut off the excess cords, and then if you have a strand of cord that's about 30 to 40 centimeters long left over, we're going to use that cord to make a gathering knot underneath the star. Once the gathering knot is made, with the remaining cords, make the overhand knots that we did with the other fringe. And then you are now complete with this hanging star pattern. that's a wrap with the Macrame Baby Teether toy patterns. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. You can obviously use these toy teether patterns on its own for your babies to play with, or if you want to incorporate these patterns into a baby play gym, then make sure you guys stay tuned for next week's tutorial on how we put the baby play gym together. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.